This content is the property of Put It Out There TV, also known as Pt.2 TV, a property of the House of Yasha Allah El Trust. If you are viewing and or listening to this content on a non-Pt.2 TV branded platform, then we kindly ask that you stop and flag this content for copyright infringement. Thank you.
But not only that, not only is the right, freedom of religion protected by the American Constitution, it's also protected by the Delaware State Republic Constitution, where the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy carries out its works, or where it's going to be carrying out its works. Now, here it says specifically, Article 1, Bill of Rights, Section 1, Freedom of Religion. Although it is the duty of all persons frequently to assemble together for the public worship of Almighty God in piety and morality, on which the prosperity of communities depends, are hereby promoted, yet no person shall or ought to be compelled to attend any religious worship, to contribute to the erection or support of any place of worship, or to the maintenance of any ministry against his or her own free will and consent. And no power shall or ought to be vested in or assumed by any magistrate that shall in any case interfere with or in any manner control the rights of conscience. In the free exercise of religious worship, nor a preference given by law to any religious societies, denominations, or modes of worship. So this is pretty much saying exactly the same thing that is being communicated to we the people in the First Amendment Bill of Rights of the American Constitution. It says here, it is the duty of all persons to frequently assemble for the public worship of Almighty God. Now that Almighty being, Brother Umar, for you may be one of the several powers or natures or spirits of the African spiritual systems. And you're going to be teaching that, right? It is the duty for you to get together in the public worship of the almighty power of that African spiritual system, together for the public worship of that deity or that power and piety and morality. Listen to this, brother, on which the prosperity of communities depends, are hereby promoted. See, they're promoting you to do your African spiritual system thing, right? Because they know by doing that, it brings prosperity. By doing that, the prosperity of communities depends upon that. Why am I focusing on that religion part? Because, brother Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson, what you are doing, what you are trying to do can fall all the way up under the branch of religion, not being attached to Western Christianity, any form of colonialism, and you can still operate your school the way that you need to and get your non-taxation, religious non-taxation without 501c3 tax exemption permission. Because why? You are on the duty and charge that was placed into you by the highest upon high. I just said this in another video that I did. Nobody can tell Paul that he did not see Jesus on the road to Damascus. Let me go on and show you. Let me show you, because these European Christians, these so-called white Christians, brother, they are utilizing this. And see, this is why you have to comprehend that Moors delve into dealing with the law. And why and how it can properly apply to you within your proper status. And that is by having a national descent name being attached to the free national, to the human family, the nations of families, families of nations. But let's go on and see what these so-called white Christians say. Non-government / non-taxable, not for state profit church. Now, when you see that word, brothers and sisters, brother Dr. Umar Johnson, I want you to refer to an African spiritual system temple. Non-government, non-taxable, not for state profit, African spiritual system temple. I don't know what you're going to call it, but I'm just trying to put it to you in a way so it's in a proper frame of mind. Like I said, I'd rather be a part of a solution than keep adding on to a problem. Right? Here it goes on to say, what is a free medical church clinic? Let's exclude that. Let's say, what is a free African spiritual system school? Let's go on. What is a African spiritual system school, temple, right? Here's case law. It says Judge Bratton, Eastern District of California, in Universal Life Church Incorporated versus United States. This went up there, all right? This went up on high, 1974, brother. It says, neither this court nor any branch of this government will consider the merits or fallacies of a religion. Neither this court nor any branch of this government will consider the merits or fallacies of a religion, nor will the court compare the beliefs, dogmas, and practices of a newly organized religion with those of an older African, more established religion, nor will the court praise or condemn a religion, however excellent or fanatical or preposterous it may seem. Were the court to do so, it would impinge upon the guarantee of the First Amendment and create a state African spiritual system school. See, brother, this is why you got to comprehend why these so-called white people, right? These Europeans, this is why they set up their schools via religion. This is why they set up their schools via religion. And even though a lot of them, yes, have signed up for 501c3 and waived a lot of rights, because there's some issues that you're going to be addressing, brother. I can tell you why you're not going to get the 501c3. Because there's going to be some issues that you're going to be addressing that cannot be addressed with 501c3 taxation. Let me keep it real. This is why you're not going to be able to get it. They know who you are, and you cannot exercise what you're trying to exercise with 501c3. Speaking the way that you speak, addressing the issues that you address. So how do we get around that? African spiritual religion. Now let's go on here. It says keeping the true separation of church and state, right? Don't get it twisted. Listen to me. It says Congress enacted, this is from a book called why all churches should be a 508c1a. Congress enacted a particular rule to specifically exempt churches from these new requirements, or the new legislation would be in conflict with the Constitution. See how I went to the Constitution first? Section 508c1a was necessary to formally ensure that government did not unnecessarily entangle itself with the organization and operation of African spiritual system schools/temples. 508c1a, faith-based African spiritual system, faith-based organization, tax exemption, stems from the First Amendment and is not a government subsidy. Faith-based African faith-based organizations can be organized and operate under Section 508c1a of the tax code, the same as they can be organized and operate under any other section of the tax code. A 508c1a African spiritual system faith-based organization has a constitutional and legal right to form. Therefore, there is no required application to seek approval of tax-exempt status. Now, Brother Dr. Umar Johnson, I want to make this clear. This is not no sovereign citizen stuff, what I'm just telling you here. This is the law. I know since you probably heard me identify myself as being a Moor, you're probably thinking sovereign citizen stuff. No. We're gonna go into this law, as they say, though it's negative law, but it can be used to the benefit of what you are doing. This is why I had to go into this point. Noble Drew Ali wanted schools to come out of the Moorish Science Temple in the